Hello and welcome. Today's topic is on you are worth existing. Now, I'm sure some people are hearing this and thinking, well, yeah, obviously I'm worth existing. But yet, sometimes we find ourselves in behaviors that are actually us feeling like we don't deserve existing. For instance, if you and someone get to the door at the same time and you feel bad for being in this person's way, you are experiencing the feeling of feeling like you don't deserve to exist as much as that person. And I will say personally, I've struggled with this a lot in my life of feeling like I don't deserve to be here. I don't feel worthy to be here. I don't feel worthy to have the life that I live. And it's a program, feeling that way. It's something that it's a pattern we fall into. And we can also fall back out of that pattern. The more you're like, well, me and that person got to the door at the same time. There's no reason why I should feel bad. It's just a weird coincidence. It's just a funny little thing in life that happened. And it's the same thing with being on the road. You don't need to feel bad for the person behind you wishing that you were driving faster. It's absolutely ridiculous to think that you are worth less than that person who is angry and frustrated at you for simply existing. And yet we find ourselves in this pattern frequently. I know lots of people out there are going through that. They're thinking the same thing. And you can also look at the reverse part of it. If, like, when you are angry at someone for not driving faster and you are riding the back of their car, you are angry at that person for existing. We don't need to be angry at others for existing or feel like their existence is worth less than ours. Every animal, every plant, every bug, every single life form is just as precious as every single life form. We are all one little shard of the same whole. We are all carrying a soul. Plants have souls. Animals have souls. Bugs have souls. And it's crazy to me to hear people disagree with that. Anyone who can see auras, you know that plants have auras. A plant can't have an aura if it doesn't have a life force. And it's alive. We agree that plants are alive. They must have a life force, right? And that plant deserves to exist just as much as you do. That bug deserves to live just as much as you do. And other people, no matter what color their skin is, no matter what gender they are, no matter how they look, they deserve to exist just as much as you do. And you deserve to exist just as much as they do. That's why you're here. Your being here is proof that you deserve to exist. You deserve to be on this planet. You deserve this life. Make the best of it. Maybe you're making choices that you feel guilty about. Then change that. If you think, wow, I should stop using all these plastic bottles all the time, then start using a reusable water bottle. You know, we feel guilty because we need to change something, not because we're not worthy of being here, not because our existence is lesser than other existence. Even people who are causing damage to the environment, people who are causing damage to the earth, people who are angry and frustrated and taking it out on other people, or plants or animals or whatever, those people still deserve to exist. They're here. That is proof in itself that they deserve to exist. Now, what we do with their existence is what we do with it. I personally don't think that a spider who has just found its way into the place that I sleep deserves to die. Like, if I found myself in someone's bed on accident, should I be killed? No, I don't think so. If I just accidentally show up in someone's house, is that worthy of slaughter? I don't think so. And also, where I live, there's only 2 poisonous spiders here, and one of them lives in dark places, meaning you pretty much never see them. I really don't understand the fear people have of spiders and why we're afraid of something so tiny. That spider's existence is just as precious as our existence, just as we are just as precious as that spider. We're all here to live out a certain purpose, a certain life, I guess, a certain goal. We all have things that we want to accomplish in this life. For instance, I'm a writer. I want to accomplish publishing books and sharing them with the entire world and inspiring people with those books. That is something that makes me feel precious, and so I do more of it. But I was precious before I ever started writing my first book. I was precious before I even took my first breath on this planet. You don't need to do anything to have value, to have worth. You have value, and therefore the things you do become more ethical. For instance, if you are going around hiking and you're stomping around on all these plants, that's an unethical way of doing something. Whereas if you are aware of these plants' existence, you're aware of the fact that they feel, that they are conscious, you're going to tread more carefully around them. And so having value doesn't just help you, it helps everyone. You need to protect yourself because no one can protect you better than you. If there's a narcissist in your life, you're the only one who can remove them. You are the one who is capable of saying, you know what, I don't deserve this person in my life. You are the one capable of leaving that situation. You are the one who can get yourself out of it. You are the one who can save yourself. Because no one else is coming. If someone else comes into your life, it's because you attracted that person into your life. Yes, but you are the only one capable of saving yourself from your own suffering. Not that you will ever stop experiencing suffering throughout life, but you can change the suffering that you are in and therefore end what you are experiencing. And yeah, some things are really, really hard to let go of. But other things, you just need to be told that you can let go of it and think about it and be like, you know what? I don't want this person in my life. Why have I been allowing them to be around me? Why have I been allowing them to choose and dictate what I do? Why have I been allowing this person to literally take money from me and never pay me back? The more conscious you become of your own worth, the more you can be like, you know what? This person doesn't deserve to take from me. This person doesn't deserve to just use me. Their life is precious too, just as much as mine, and mine is just as much as precious as theirs. And having that balanced mindset of knowing that each is both precious allows you to not harm the other person, not wish bad intentions upon them, but still protect yourself. Still know that you are worthy of existence. You are worthy to be here, and you do not need to put up with things. You do not need to be so passive. There is a healthy amount of passivity, and there is an unhealthy amount of being passive. Now, it's okay to just go with the flow of life, but if you have someone who is punching you in the face, are you just going to sit there and let them punch you in the face? We need to take action on things. We need to change things that no longer serve us, that are not doing us any good. And letting go of a toxic situation or a toxic person will allow that person to grow and change as well. you're helping them get closer to letting go of their bad habits. For instance, I once had a relationship with a man who I had lent money. I had co-signed his bike, and you know what? He barely ever thanked me for that. He never paid me back. He ended up stopping paying the payments of the bike, and now the debt is also supposedly on my shoulders. And it just taught me that, you know what? I don't think I ever want to legally sign myself to someone again. That's a lesson that I needed to learn so that I could put up that boundary of like, you know what? I own me. No one else owns me. I am not going to sign myself to someone else. I am not going to make that attachment and let them have so much control over me. I am not going to lend someone who I don't know very well a large sum of money. I was so infatuated with my own feelings and emotions that I totally just let that go, let that slide. Like, yeah, it's totally fine. It wasn't fine at all. That money could mean the world to me right now. When I needed that money most, when I've been completely broke, it wasn't there. And now that karma's on his shoulders. And do I want to go and find him and make him suffer for making me suffer? No. He will face his karma, and that's not my problem. If he wants to end it, he can find a way to pay me back, or he can continue to live his karma. And I'm not going to taint myself by giving myself bad karma. I'm not going to attract negativity to me by giving negativity out into the world. I'm going to fight for and stand up for what I think is right. I'm not going to sit passively and let people just treat me like I don't deserve to exist. But I'm not going to go out of my way to do the same thing to someone else. Like, just because that person hurt me, just because that person took advantage of me, does not mean that I should harm them. Does not mean that they don't deserve to exist. He taught me a valuable lesson. And I don't hate him. I'm not angry at him. But I also do not want that person back in my life. I have that boundary of like, this is not a good human being. This person did not treat me right. And so I'm not going to let them back into my life. I'm not going to be around that person. And you can set that boundary of like, hey, you know what? This person, they disrespected me. If they change and become a better person, then good for them. I hope they do. But I still don't want them back in my life. You can set that boundary of like, hey, you know what? It's okay for me to exist and this person to exist. Even if I don't agree with what they're doing, if they don't agree with what I'm doing, it doesn't matter. You both deserve to exist, and you don't have to stay in each other's presence. You can leave people. You can leave situations. You have the power. Especially anyone who is in a toxic relationship. Whether that be with a spouse or a family member. If it is someone who you are living with, if it is someone who is controlling you, someone who is abusing you, someone who is manipulating you, you deserve to exist. You deserve to be here, and you have human rights. You deserve to be free. You deserve to be happy. And your life is not less precious than the person who is harming you's life. A lot of times we perceive ourselves that way, as being like, well, I should just give to this person. No, you need to set healthy boundaries. Because you are actually helping that person learn not to treat other people in harmful, abusive, toxic manners by saying, you know what, no, you can't treat me like that. Like, I'm not okay with you treating me this way. It is so powerful to just leave a situation. Whether you need to go to the police, whether you need to simply walk away, whether you need to find a new place to live. Like, it varies in levels of difficulty on what it takes to leave that situation, but if it's not good, if it's not healthy for you, if it's not working, then you need to find a way out. Because your life is precious. You are worth existing. Now, I hope that this video finds people and inspires them. And again, you are worth existing. Tell yourself that as many times as you need to, because it's true.